Good morning, children. How are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine. Now we are going to start our next class. In this class, we are going to start Civics Chapter 3, the State Government. What is the chapter name? The chapter name is State Government. Okay. So first you should know the meaning of the government. Government means the people, elected representative or elected people who work for the people. Means they maintain the law, they make the law, maintain and work for the welfare of the people. So government means elected representatives who work for the people, and they have the powers to do the work, and this power is given by the constitution. So these elected representatives have their powers according to the constitution. They work for the welfare of the people. For example, they can make the law, how they have to maintain, how it will execute, and so if people they breaks the law, then how they can get the punishment or how they will punish. So all these things are work for the state government. Now in India also there are three levels of the government. How many levels of the government in India? There are three levels of the government. The central level, at the state level, and the third one is at the local level. So these are the three levels of the government in India. Or Indian government functions at three levels: at the central level, at the state level, and at the local level. In previous class, means in 6th class, you had studied about the local government. Local government means Panchayati Raj. Panchayati Raj, government at the urban areas and government at the rural areas. You studied about it in the 6th class. Now in the 7th class, or in this class, you are going to learn something about the state government. State government is the second level or upper level from the local government. So state government we are going to study it, and the state government functions more or less like the central government, but its functions differ from that of the local government. So more or less means कुछ कम कुछ ज़्यादा, or something is related, or something is same. Some functions are same of the state government and at the local government. State government and at the central level the same, but the functions of local government is different. Like other democratic governments, the state government also consists of three branches. Okay, so in all the democratic governments, the state government also consists of three branches. What are the three branches of the state government or the democratic government? They are the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. These are the three branches of the state government or the democratic state government. So what are the three? Here's the I make you clear that level is different and branches is different. Three levels of the government: central government, state government, and the local government. These are the levels of the government, but the branches of the government are legislature, executive, and the judiciary. Don't confuse. Level What are the three levels of the government? The three levels of the government are central government, state government, and the local government. And what are the three branches of the government or state government? They are legislature, executive, and judiciary. Again and again I am repeating this question. What are the three levels of the government? The three levels of the government are the central government, state government, and the local government. But what are the three branches of the government? The three branches of the government are legislature, executive, and the judiciary. These are the three branches of the state government. Now, what are their functions? So, the legislature makes the law that govern a state. The main function of the legislature is to make the laws for the state, and executive, the main function of the executive is to implement the law. No, to implement the law. And the main function of the judiciary is to ensure that they are protected. The people are protected from the enemies or from the other things. So, the main function of the legislature is to make the law for the state, that make law for the state. And executive, the main function of the executive to implement the law, and the main function of judiciary is to ensure that they are the protected, or they can, or the courts or the judiciary can punish to the lawbreakers. So these are the three branches of the state government and their main functions. So what is the main function of the legislature? The main function of legislature is to make the law for the state. The main function of legislature is to make the law for the state. And what is the main function of executive? The main function of executive is to implement the law. How the law can be implemented. And what is the main function of judiciary? The main function of judiciary is to ensure that the people are protected and lawbreaker could be punished. So our first branch is the legislature. Just like a car needs a driver to steer it and a good set of brakes to prevent accident from happening. Okay, so for example here car needs a driver to steer it. Steer means कार को चलाने के लिए जिस तरह से हमें जिस तरह से ड्राइवर कार को स्टीयरिंग जो होता है, स्टीयरिंग की सहायता से जो कार को चलाता है, और उसमें क्या होते हैं, एक ब्रेक्स भी होते हैं. तो किस तरह से एक्सीडेंट से बचाने के लिए ब्रेक को यूज़ करता है. ओके, सो अ कंट्री नीड्स अ गवर्नमेंट टू गाइड इट and some good laws to help the government to do this. Okay, so here same way the government also, or the country also need a government to guide it. The country also need a government to guide it. For example, here is given one example, as the car needs a driver to steer it, and some good laws to help the government to do this, because without making laws the government cannot work, cannot function. To function properly the government needs some laws or good laws. Laws means कानून और नियम. To make laws we need a body empowered to make them. Then who will make the laws for the country or for the state? So there is a body, government body of the elected representative, and they have the empowered to make them. They have empowered to make them. This body is called the legislature. This body is called legislature. But in some states, the legislature consists of two houses. कुछ स्टेट में लेजिस्लेचर के दो हाउसेस होते हैं, विधानसभा एंड द विधान परिषद. विधानसभा एंड विधान परिषद. And in most states, however, consist of only the Vidhan Sabha. In some state there are two houses, Vidhan Sabha and the Vidhan Parishad. But in most of the state there is only one house. Legislature consists of only the Vidhan Sabha. And legislature that consist of two houses are called bicameral. Now, the legislature that consists of two houses like Vidhan Sabha और विधान परिषद. लेजिस्लेचर जिसमें दो हाउस होते हैं, है ना, लाइक विधान सभा और विधान परिषद. सो दैट legislature is known as the bicameral, and those have that one house are called unicameral. Okay, so what is the meaning of bicameral? The legislature that consists of two houses. लेजिस्लेचर जिसमें दो हाउस होते हैं उसको हम बाइकैमरल कहते हैं, और लेजिस्लेचर जिसमें एक हाउस होता है उसको हम यूनिकैमरल कहते हैं. सो व्हाट आर द टू हाउसेस ऑफ द लेजिस्लेचर of the state legislature, not the central. Okay, so what are the two houses of the state legislature? They are Vidhan Sabha और विधान परिषद. जिस स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर में दो हाउस होते हैं वो बाइकैमरल कहलाता है, और जिस स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर में एक हाउस होता है उसको हम यूनिकैमरल लेजिस्लेचर कहते हैं. क्लियर? व्हाट इज द bicameral and what is unicameral? Bicameral means legislature that consists of two houses, and unicameral legislature that consists of only one house. Now first one is the Vidhan Parishad. Vidhan Parishad or the legislative council is the upper house of the assembly. Okay, so there are two houses of the legislature. What are the two houses of the legislature? They are Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. Now the first one is the Vidhan Parishad. Vidhan Parishad or the legislative council is the upper house of the assembly. Vidhan Parishad legislative council का upper house कहलाता है या मुख्य हाउस कहलाता है. The tenure of the member, tenure means working period, है ना. The tenure of a member in a Vidhan Parishad is 6 years. Here tenure means working period. So the member of Vidhan Sabha are elected for 6 years. The member of Vidhan Sabha is elected for 6 years. So what is the tenure of Vidhan Parishad? The tenure of Vidhan Parishad is 6 years. And every 2 years, 1/3 of the members retire. और हर 2 साल के बाद 1/3 मेंबर हैं वो क्या हो जाते हैं, रिटायर हो जाते हैं, और एंड फ्रेश वंस आर इलेक्टेड, और उनकी जगह पे दूसरे मेंबर्स इलेक्ट हो जाते हैं. So the total number of Vidhan Parishad are divided into 3 parts or 3. So 1/3 after retirement of the 1/3, next 1/3 members are elected. Since all the members do not retire together, so लेकिन इसमें सारे मेंबर्स एक साथ रिटायरमेंट नहीं होते हैं, इसीलिए विधान परिषद को परमानेंट हाउस भी कहा जाता है ना. सो व्हाई इज विधान परिषद called a permanent house? Because all the members do not retire together, because all the members of the Vidhan Sabha do not retire together. How many members retire? Every 2 years 1/3 of the members retire. हर 2 साल में 1/3 member retire होते हैं. Next 2 years में again 1/3 member. In the next 2 years again 1/3 member. So all the members are not or do not retire together. That's why the Vidhan Parishad is called a permanent house. Some members of Vidhan Parishad are indirectly elected by the members of the Legislative Assembly. Some members of Vidhan Parishad are indirectly elected by the members of Legislative, and some by the local bodies, and some by the high school teachers, graduate, etc. And some members are nominated by the governor from among the people who have distinguished themselves in different fields like art, literature, social work, and in other field like musician or scientist or literature, other field. So here the member of Vidhan Parishad, members of Vidhan Parishad are elected from the different fields. Some members are elected. Some members are elected by the member of Legislative Assembly, means कुछ members विधान सभा में से लिए जाते हैं, कुछ members local people होते हैं, local bodies होती हैं, and some members are from the high school teachers, graduates, etc. And some members are nominated by the governor, और कुछ members का नाम गवर्नर के द्वारा सजेस्ट किया जाता है जो डिफरेंट फील्ड में से होते हैं, जैसे कि लाइक आर्ट, लिटरेचर, सोशल वर्क, साइंस, social worker, all these. Okay, so this is about the Vidhan Parishad. So what you studied in this video? In this video you studied about the government at the 3 levels. What are the 3 levels of the government? The 3 levels of the government are central level, state government, and the local level. Local government or government at the local level means Panchayati Raj. Panchayati Raj means government at the urban areas and government at the rural areas. And about the state government, the state government consists of 3 branches. The legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The judiciary makes law that govern a state. The main function of legislature is to make the laws for the state. And what is the main function of executive? The main function of executive is to implement the laws. And what is the main function of judiciary? The main function of the judiciary is to punish to the lawbreakers and ensure that the people are protected. And here the legislature is the government body that makes the law according to the requirement of the welfare of the people. Okay, and this body makes the law for the state. And the legislature consists of 2 houses, Vidhan Sabha and the Vidhan Parishad. So the state or the legislature consists of 2 houses, is called the bicameral legislature, and the legislature consists of 1 house, is called the unicameral legislature. And the Vidhan Parishad, the first one is the Vidhan Parishad. Vidhan Parishad and Vidhan Sabha are the 2 houses of the legislature. So Vidhan Parishad is also known as the Legislative Council, and it is also called the upper house of the assembly. And the working period or the tenure of the member of Vidhan Parishad is 6 years. and every 2 years 1/3 of the members retire. How many members retire every 2 years? 1/3 members retire, and in place of these 1/3, fresh ones are or fresh members are elected. And since all the members do not retire together, that's why the Vidhan Sabha is called the permanent house. The members of how the members of Vidhan Sabha elected. How the members of Vidhan Sabha elected. So the members of Vidhan Sabha are elected by the member of Legislative Assembly, some by the local bodies, and some by the high school teachers, graduates, etc. And some members are nominated by the governor from among people who have distinguished themselves in the different field, means who have done work a lot for the society in the field of art, literature, social work, and in other fields, science, and etc. etc. Okay, so the governor nominated some of the members for Vidhan Parishad. Now your work, you all have to read this page which I taught, and in the next session or next video we will study about the life of Vidhan Sabha, qualification, and other things about the Vidhan Sabha. Thank you. Have a nice day.